I'm going to talk about a couple of things that the FilMine team is working on. The objective of FilMine is to accelerate the transition to Web3, meaning that we are working on infrastructure that will allow the network to get to orders of magnitude more capacity than what we currently have. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we make that capacity also very useful for the network in the sense that we want to make sure that all of that capacity is retrievable and that people are getting actual value on top of that. As I mentioned, the way we want to do that is by building tools for miners where they can actually leverage the tools and make sure that their infrastructure is working correctly and that they have some basic monitoring and other tools that allow them to grow faster. So the impact of that work will be improving the quality of service of the miners, accelerating growth, and simplifying the operations. Now, I'm going to demo some of the products that are live today. And then I'm just going to walk you through some of the future stuff that we're going to be working with. So this is Filecoin. And basically what this tool allows you to do is find the miners that have particular specifications that you want as a storage client. So for example, I might want to store some data, but I only can store that data in Europe. So I want to look for Europe. And I will see like every data center that is in Europe. You can see that there is Serbia, Latvia, Ukraine, Russia, the UK, and so on. Now, I might want to search for more in particular Serbia, and I might also, and in this case, I'll see the miner that we are running because our team is based in Serbia. But generally, if you zoom into this view, you'll see a particular data center that has particular deals associated with that. And you can see that the size of the deal is 16 gigabits, and that those are verified deals, and that those have actually contributed to the storage power of the miner here. Something that we did is we made like the abstraction of the storage provider decoupled from the miner, in the sense that every storage provider will have multiple cluster of machines that can actually contribute to the network. But the storage provider is one entity that needs to have multiple data centers available as something that is contributing to the network. So what we're doing here is we are allowing that storage provider to create a profile and add some information about the storage provider. So for example, this is something that I made and connected to my miner. But for example, this would better be named, for example, FilMine miner. And I could also add my Slack handle, my GitHub handle, and of course add like the logo of the organization that I'm representing, and I can submit those changes here. Now, something additional that I need to do is definitely provide some more context on what we are doing and for what would this cluster of machines be used for. So we could say miner in Eastern Europe looking for cold storage deals, for example. We might know that we don't have enough bandwidth, but we have a lot of capacity, and that we want to like archive there rather than just contribute randomly. And tomorrow, a storage provider is going to see this, and is going to be able to actually create a deal with this particular miner associated with that storage provider. Other than that, we are also working on tools that allow storage providers to add multiple storage providers here, and also apply to be part of the FilMine network, which is what brings me to the second point. So FilMine is a tool that allows storage providers to tap into the liquidity that was provided by third-party users. So for example, users that have more token liquidity, but don't want to sell the tokens, rather want a long fill. Instead of having that fill sync IO, they would stake their fill into the FilMine protocol. And that fill would be used by the miner as part of the network. In that way, we get a couple of things. First of all, the miners don't have to buy as much field anymore. Rather, they can leverage the liquidity available in the protocol. And secondly, the storage providers don't depend anymore on where the price of field is at. Rather, they just earn the rewards and get rewarded every 24 hours. On the other hand, the token holders get massive rewards because they are sharing the rewards with the storage providers that are actually mining blocks and getting the rewards regularly. So I'm also going to share a couple of updates where you're going with this. So as I mentioned, you're able to search for storage providers that have particular specifications, for example, region, capacity, number of deals, whether those are reliable miners, both based on some bots that are running, but also based on the reviews that other search clients are making. And at some point, we are also working towards adding certificates because we want to make sure that the storage providers that have certificates from data centers that are well reputed and have spent a bunch of time getting those can actually be benefited. Also, tools that we are launching soon are the management for storage providers to get some basic monitoring for making sure that they have an understanding how much capacity they have left, what is their reward, whether they are risking in getting slashed. Those are some monitoring tools that have been already developed by some miners. But what we are doing is we are making sure that every storage provider can actually leverage those and have a managed service that is a couple of clicks away. And finally, as I mentioned, FilMine is the tool that is currently in alpha, but it is going to be released in beta very soon, where we are going to accept more miners. If you're interested, you should definitely apply to join the waiting list, and from there we can get back to you and help you get started when you're ready. So that was it from my side.